Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Arms Race: The Cold War Era. Um, this is it's a Cold War game, obviously, starting in the 1950. Last episode, I went through a lot of the the game basics. There's probably a lot of information there. So hopefully, as I play through this a little bit, you'll get to understand it a little bit more. But please understand, I am by no means an expert because I still haven't beaten this game myself. But yeah, we're starting the game in 1950. I need to figure out what I want to do first. I've only got 3 actions. One of the very first things I want to do is, no matter what, I need to invest in my growth, my budget. Because I need to at least put 1 there. Because I've got to keep my growth going as much as possible. The more money I have, the more budget I can spend. Because obviously 10% of 2,500 is 250. 10% of 500, or 5,000, sorry, is 500. So if I can get my budget to increase, then I just have more pool to spend. The other thing I was going to say, I didn't say this last episode, is you can see here a summary of how much you're spending in each category. Currently, I'm spending 1 in military, 1 in government, so total expenditure is 24 for the entire year. I do want to get some space stuff going, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put some in ground facilities. Getting some of that influence coming in is going to be a huge boost for me. And then I think the last point is going to go into diplomats. I think just getting some more diplomats coming in is always going to be a good thing as well. So that's all my 3 points. I cannot undo all those actions. Again, I do kind of wish you could before you unpause or something like that, but that's okay. We can get used to it. The next thing we need to do is figure out what we want to do with our resources that we have down here currently. So one thing we want to do is sort by influence. Anything that's like up here above 70, as we get some of the space race stuff, we'll get those above 80 easily enough. So I don't necessarily need to spend influence on it right this second. If we had it above 75 or around 75, I might start spending some influence. And the way to get influence is spending diplomats. I might start spending some diplomats to get some influence that way, just so I can force the issue. But for now, we'll let the space race get us some of those. Sorry, hiccups. But one thing we do want is anywhere that we got 45 points. If we can get it over 50, then we can start swinging this opposition meter in our favor. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding some influence to some of these places that have 45. Now, you can only add 1 influence. It's like either 1 month or every 3 months. I think it's every month for Diplos, and I think it's every 3 months for spy actions. We'll see that here in a moment. So we'll do 1 there. We'll go over to the Turkey, and we'll add 1 there. And I think for now, that's going to be fine. It's only the 2 places that are 45. We do want to start getting some spies around, though. So, you know what? Turkey, we'll put a spy there. West Africa, we'll put a spy there. And some of these other places that we do have some influence in, that we do want to kind of keep an eye on things, we'll put spies there as well, just to make sure that USSR is not about to try and sneak some troops in and do something crazy. Although they're a long ways away from being able to do anything super crazy. There are already 3 spies here in Benelux, which is fine. Put a spy there in Denmark. Israel, we've already got a spy. Italy, we'll put a spy there. We'll just keep spreading our net, our global spy net, if you will. Turkey's good. West Africa we just did. And Congo's good. Southeast Asia, let's put 1 there. And Central America. Ooh, they've got 3 spies there already. Be a little bit dangerous for us to put some spies there, but we need to put something there just to keep an eye on things. If he gets killed off, we'll have to think about putting another 1 there at some point. So now our military points. Now, we don't want to spend all of our military, but there is probably going to be some conflicts over here soon. So we'll keep an eye on this. We could try and force the issue in Korea, North Korea, but it's only worth 1 point. So I don't know that I really want to be perfectly honest. So I think we're just going to leave Korea alone. There is a mechanic where, based on how many soldiers you have in a region when the opposition fires, it depends on whether they fight for you or fight, against you. So for now, that point is 8. If it's 8 or higher, they fight for you. If it's 7 or lower, then they fight for the opposition. And the opposition being whoever has the least influence. So places like Ireland here, we want to get that to 8 because we have the most influence. But places that we have less influence, we would probably want to have it at 7, so that they fight for it still. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't flip over to the other side. I don't understand quite exactly how that mechanic 100% works, but it was something along those lines. And so I've just kind of been going with that 8 number ever since then, and all the places that I care about. I'm not going to spend all my resources, all my troops, but we'll spend a bunch of them. Italy's going to be fine. Spain looks good. Turkey looks good. West Africa, ooh, we need a lot there. That's 6. That leaves us 12. You know, we'll stay with 12. That's going to give us enough to kind of help reinforce some other places. Nothing's going on here. I do want to get some technology at some point, but obviously we have no money at the moment. So I think there's nothing else for us to do except unpause and get the game going. I'm going to go ahead and put it on medium speed. So as you can see, let me pause, P key. We can see these flags over here mean that there's a war going on. So we've already got a war going on in North Korea and South Korea. Currently, oh, I did not mean to add a dude there. See, there you go. Another one of those things where I can't undo. It's all right. Currently, it's 50-50 here on the overall scale of firepower, which is fine. So we'll just keep an eye on South Korea. We would probably like to keep South Korea now that since we still have it, or at least we already started with it. I don't want to go too crazy. Again, it is only worth 1 point, but I'd really rather not him have the USSR flip this. Presumably, he's putting a lot of troops here as well. Because his number, it doesn't look like it's going down, but he has to be losing some if it's 50-50. He's got to be losing, you know, it's a 50-50 shot that he's losing some. His just goes back in immediately. Currently, we have something going on in Poland. Oh, wow, they're already at 100. Oh, okay. Poland would be really good for us to get. I can't imagine that we have a chance, but almost to the point of ignoring Korea right now. We've only got 9 troops left. I'm tempted to just pour as much as we can into Poland and see what we can do. We're still at a 50-50, so let's just pour into Poland. Poland's worth 3 points. Keep it going. You know, I'm actually going to jump it down to slow for a little bit, just to kind of keep things going, just for now. We do have 2 diplomats left. I do want to keep going with Turkey and West Africa. Get those up to that 50 mark. Yeah, we don't have any troops coming in. As you can see, the next troop we have coming in is in 5 months. So I think the USSR just held on to more troops than we did. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe it won't matter. We'll see. A lot of stuff going on. Canada. What's going on in Canada? Would you like to support local government? 20 support. It's only $50, which in some ways is not a lot, but honestly, support's already 90, so no, we're not gonna waste our money on that. It'll be fine. If it was something else, somewhere else, we might spend money on decisions like that, but for right now, I think we're fine. I don't think we're getting Poland anytime soon. I would like to go ahead and stick a spy here just to keep an eye on things, but I don't think there's any way we're getting Poland or Korea, to be honest. Korea loss is not a big deal. Not getting the Poland win, it's a much bigger deal because, again, it's worth 3 points. But presumably he's losing some troops in the mix of this as well, since we are still at an even rating. Oh, we did get another troop. Let's go ahead and funnel back in here. It's almost November, and in January we'll get another $3 or so. As of right now, you can see that our money has actually dipped down because we are actually spending money, but we're going to end up spending 48 over the course of the year. So we're going to have less budget this next year than we did this year. Sort of, other than the growth. I mean, effectively, you know, we're going to have less at the beginning of the year. Let's put it that way. Why is the revenue not showing up? Oh, there it is. Okay. It was just the window needed to be refreshed. That's fine. Okay, this is good for us. This is actually really good for us. We got 9% plus the 1% we got. So we actually got a full 10%, which is huge. This number can get all the way down to 5%, which is one thing I do think is a little unbalanced because since it's completely random between 5 and 10%, that effectively means that your enemy could get double, you know, the revenue that you get. Like if they got the full 10% and neither one of you invested in your growth and you only got 5%, they're getting double the money just because of an RNG. I think double is a little too much. I wish it was a little bit more, maybe, you know, 7 to 10, or even honestly something like I don't know, just something, some other variable where it wasn't, you know, just double their money. But that's all right. It is what it is. We work with it, and it's going to be fine. So again, we do want to at least invest 1% in our budget growth. That's a given. Do we invest more, though? That's the question. Do we invest more? The more we invest, the faster we get to the higher breakpoints, which means the more money we can invest. I know it's just a catch-22 in some ways. It's, you know, like it's I don't know. I'd like more military. I'd also like to start getting some technology coming in. I actually feel like land is something that we should invest in. There's a lot of places that have a lot of land. I think we're going to invest here. Start getting that in. It's going to take us 50 months at the current rate, but hey, eventually we'll get there. This will actually get us what? M113s. Armored personnel carriers. Pretty cool. What else can we do? We're not going to do these. It's way too early for that. We're actually starting to get a little bit of prestige here, so we'll have to keep an eye on this. I'm okay with the rate of diplomats and spies for the moment. At some point, we are going to need to put $1 in launches, but we're not quite there on the ground facilities yet. I mean, more money on the ground facilities would also be nice, but you know what? I think until we get over 3,000, let's just put more money in. Let's just max it out. All right, let's unpause. Keep an eye on this. We do have another diplomat, so let's come back over here to Turkey. Another dude there. Get that over to the 50% mark. South Korea, not doing too good. So let's check these real quick. Are we getting any points for any of these? We are actually getting supports for American communism here. And for the new way of India, which would increase our budget a little bit, which is awesome. But of course, the Soviet Union is getting some for the other things. Now, what causes them to get these points? I actually don't know. There's probably certain situations, certain things that you're doing that triggers these points to be happening. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe certain things that you're spending or certain areas that you're investing in. Or maybe it's random. I actually don't understand that mechanic completely, I'll be honest. But I do know that, you know, at some point you do get, you know, one of those things to trigger, and it does give you a pretty good bonus. Or maybe a pretty big negative that your opponent gets a bonus. All right, until we get some more of these things coming in, really nothing for us to do except sit here and watch the action. Got a parade going on here. Yeah, we're definitely going to be losing Poland and Korea. So we're losing both Poland and Korea, which is unfortunate. Maybe we shouldn't be spending any resources here. But presumably, if we're spending resources, that means the enemy's also spending resources, to be perfectly honest. I'll keep putting a spy here for now. We're going to go ahead and come back over here and do another diplomat down here. When's our next military unit? 4 more months. Yeah, maybe we should have held on to more military units. I was not expecting Poland to flip over this quickly. The Korean one I expect. So I was going to invest a little bit in Korea just to see if we could get something to stick, but not too much. The Poland one I was not expecting, and it definitely getting a chance at a 3-pointer is a pretty big deal. Check to support the local terrorists. 70 more opposition. The problem here is that they'll just pour in a whole bunch of troops and flip it on us, but it might take some pressure off of. I don't want to spend $50 on that. No, never mind. We're not going to spend $50 on that. It's not, unless we could guarantee it, it's just not worth it. All right, I think we can go ahead and safely go up to medium for now. Although I was paused, I was just sitting there staring at it. Sorry about that. We're going to end up spending $60 this year. Yeah, there goes all of our money and our stuff in Poland. Okay, we're just going to let it go. We'll just stockpile our troops for now and just see what we can do. South Korea flipped over as expected. Poland's about to end. Although the opposition is still high, so we can still technically add troops. So, I mean, if we got another big chunk of troops, we could throw them in there. But unless we had an advantage on the military side of things, I just don't know if it's worth it. As you can see, the flag flips over to our side, which means that we're able to send troops. The opposition is high enough, but there's not currently a war being fought there. Anything happening with the UN at the moment? Nothing at the moment. Guess they're doing some spy actions and things. All right, almost a new year. More budget, which is good. He does have the lead on the points at the moment. Come on, again. It's not paused, is it? Oh, was it paused this whole time? I didn't even see it. Did I didn't see that thing saying paused. I'm sorry about that. So they were staring at it. I wasn't even paying attention to that thing. Maybe it was there the whole time and I was just blind. Benelux. 20 American influence. More influence is always good. $20 for more influence is actually probably worth it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's flip that influence over. More influence, more better. Budget. Let's check out our budget. So look, here you can see this is the overall GNP. This is they're red, we're blue. Our GNP is a little bit higher. They got a little bit less growth than we did this time around. That may be because they invested 1% less than we did. Who knows? Which also means they're investing in other things, which maybe that's giving them better stuff. But we have a little bit more money than they do. Not by much. We still want to invest at least 1% for sure. I'm still tempted to just go 2% until we get over that 3,000 threshold, to be honest. It's slowly getting there, but not quick enough. I think we do. I think we do the 2%. We're not ready for anything here yet. I definitely do not want to get behind on the nukes. Let's bump that up by 1. And I think that's going to be fine. I'm actually going to bump it up to fast for now. We can always pause it. Let's let things run. Not a lot of actions that we're going to be doing right now. Let's go ahead and put another person in Turkey. We do have another spy that we can throw somewhere. Somewhere in Yugoslavia. That's fine. Got some troops coming back in. We'll hold on to the troops for now, though. See if something else comes up. We could always still try to go after Poland, but I think unless we got a firepower advantage, I just don't know if it's worth it. I mean, it's 3 points, so it's definitely worth it, but not unless we had enough to like really funnel into it. Okay, so he did get something. He finished off the Berlin airlift. So it's minus 80 opposition in East Germany. Minus 5 influence in American alliance for USA. Oh, that hurts. All of our American alliance, we got 5 influence everywhere. That is painful. I mean, that's only, what, 6 countries now because we lost South Korea. But that's still, what, 30 influence that we just lost. We're close on the new way of India, which is going to get us 30 more influence back. Awesome. And some budget. We're making our way up to American communism, which is interesting. And the Vietnam War, we're a long ways away, but we're still making some ground there. Got a couple troops, not really ready to put them anywhere at the moment. There's another spy. Put one in the Middle East or something. Just kind of keep spreading out our spies everywhere. Bigger spy area, the better. There's another diplomat. Let's put them in Turkey. See if we can get over that 51 hump. So we did get the new way, which puts us back up on the influence side of things. Perfect. That's good. We're only at 51 points on the UN. He's at 75. I guess we were being some aggressors there a little bit more than he was. Would you like to support local nationalists? 20 neutral influence. Well, neutral influence would hurt us. If he had influence and we could flip it neutral, that would be good. But no, it's going to hurt us in this context. All right, new year, more money. How are we looking on budget? Overall growth percentage was the same for both of us. Again, another 10%. Although we are getting more money at the moment. We're over the 3,000 mark, which is perfect. That's what I wanted. Is it ready? Am I ready to start inputting more money elsewhere, though? Because again, the more money I put elsewhere, the less money I get to grow by, which means the less money I actually have to put elsewhere. It's such a weird balance. I think this is a great part of the game. In some ways, I think it's almost too hard, but at the same time, it's a balance. It's definitely a balance. I think it's a cool concept for sure. Oh, he's already got that ground launch. Oh, that's not good for us. All right, we got to put some more money in here. We have to put more in the ground facilities. We've got to get caught back up on that. Here, I think we're okay for the moment. I mean, I'd like to eventually get at least 1 point everywhere, but for the moment, we're okay. Oh, before I forget, we're definitely doing that. At least that much. Do I put one here or do I put one in space? Let's put one in air. Let's just get something everywhere. Get a little bit of technology coming in. I'm not going to go crazy on everything, but a little bit everywhere I think will be good for us. Let's just go on and see what happens this year. Any influences that we're getting close on. Benelux is obviously very close. We could start using our spies to get the opposition up enough to flip it over to us if we wanted to, which we might want to do. But it's also going to come up naturally as well, so we don't have to go too crazy. Italy. We can get 20 neutral influence. Again, neutral influence in this context would hurt us because most of the influence is ours. So we won't do that. He got another one. Plus 30 Soviet influence on Austria. So he is winning on the influence side of things. So because he's at 51% and I'm at 49%, he does have a plus 5 firepower bonus everywhere, which definitely hurts us. But you can see here, he's at 60%, I'm at 40%. Ouch. Makes a huge difference. But we'll get, let's see which one we're going to get next. We're going to get this one over here next. A little bit more influence, you know, something. Oh, there's our diplomat. Let's get Turkey above 51. We're at 51. Algeria. Wait, is it Algeria the one that's... Okay, so they just flipped Algeria. Which is fine. It's only 1 point. I'm going to go ahead and add a spy there just to keep an eye on things. Okay, he just spent some points on something. Does it say what he did? I don't think it says what he did. Not sure. All right, so we did get that. Oh my goodness, he's already up. How is he already up to the next launch that fast? The star means that's what he's got. So he's already got to the next, not the next launch, but the next ground thing, which also means he's able to start working on launches, which we're not able to yet. Oh, pause it. So now we definitely need to start putting some money into launches because, you know, he's going to already start getting some influence. Wow, I cannot believe he's already there that fast. Well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and put a cut in here on this this note. We got some money coming in. We'll probably start playing a little bit faster as we go forward. I just wanted to kind of get through some of the nuances of the game in here, but we'll see what happens next time. I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you don't make it. Thank you, and goodbye.